All right, we bring in Kevin McNamara now to discuss everything in sports, specifically college basketball, which he covers so well. Kevin, the PC Friars up 7 with just over a minute to go, and as your headline read on your website, a collapse. What did you make of that final few possessions and ultimately PC dropping a tough one to Xavier?
Well, it's like everything that had to go wrong went wrong for the Friars. 2 turnovers, 2 killer threes by Xavier, and it just, I wouldn't say a meltdown, because I think the defense was actually really good on the last shot. As Ed Cooley said, I don't think any opposing coach sets up with 16 seconds to go to get a shot off by a freshman from the top of the key with 0.1 to go. But the ball went in, and they blew a 7-point lead in a matter of seconds. So just a second straight really difficult loss for the Friars.
Now, we saw Ed Cooley, a little bit of frustration talking to us afterwards on Zoom. Forget 1, 2 in a row, as you just mentioned, at the buzzer. When you're coaching 18 to 22-year-olds, how does he rally his guys on short notice here to take on Marquette Tuesday?
Well, I think he's big picture. You know, the Friars have 3 Big East losses. They lost at Butler. They were up 16 points, I believe, in the first half. They lost to Creighton, a top 10 team, at the buzzer, let up a layup at the buzzer. We saw what happened today out at Xavier. In theory, you know, they could be undefeated in the Big East, and they've only have 3 losses. I think that's how you spin it to your team. That said, you know, Ed Cooley actually has a really good record throughout his tenure at Providence in games 5 points and under, but these add up, and they do take a toll on a team.
All right, we know that Duke and Watson continue to be sensational, the preseason all-conference players. How does PC get anything from anyone else going forward?
No, this was one of those days where they really did need that third guy, and they never could find it. You know, A.J. Reeves hit a few threes late that were really vital. Providence was down 5 points and looked like they were in deep trouble. But he was 4 for a lot, did not shoot the ball well. They really missed Jared Bynum. You know, it's tough to win on the road without your starting point guard, especially one who plays 32 minutes a game and doesn't turn the ball over. Providence had 15 turnovers. You know, Allen Breed, a freshman, tough spot for the biggest minutes of his career on the road in a Big East game. Had a costly turnover late, kind of a 50-50 call there. I think Providence would have said he got fouled there. But, you know, difficult. They do need that third player. It looks like they're just not going to have a consistent third player, Yianni, but as long as they can have someone different from time to time, I think Ed Cooley would take it.
As for the Rhody Rams, they continue to have their way with the VCU Rams. Nice win Saturday in the city of Richmond. What'd you make of Rhody's win, and is that something that can springboard them forward?
It's a great win. You know, it's their best win of the season by far. VCU is top 30 in the net, so that's a quad 1 win for the Rams, which certainly will do them well. They need to go on a long winning streak. That's really what Rhode Island needs. And if you look at their schedule, it sets up for that. They're at UMass this week, then they get George Mason at home. You know, a lot of these Atlantic 10 teams are solid, but no one's significantly better than the Rams. St. Louis, we could have that argument, but they have to make hay and, you know, put together a 5- and 6-game winning streak instead of win 1, lose 1. That's not going to cut it.
Switching gears to the NBA, we've seen how much COVID's impacted college basketball. In the NBA now, it's starting to impact. We saw Kevin Durant last week. The Celtics dressing pretty much 8 guys tonight because of COVID protocols. Is this just something the NBA is going to have to live with? Obviously, the bubble was a huge success in Orlando, but now with teams back in their home cities and all the traveling, is this going to be the first of maybe many situations like this for the C's?
Yeah, I'm very concerned about it. You know, the NBA did a great job with the bubble. We understand that this season can't be held in a bubble. It's too expensive. It's too constricting. The players want no part of that. However, when an NBA team gets hit, it looks like they get hit even worse than a college team for whatever reason. And, you know, to have 5, 6, 7 players, Philadelphia had a similar, outbreak. You know, maybe we'll see kind of similar to like Villanova right now. The Celtics going to pause. I really don't see the point of trying to play a game when 4 of your starters aren't around. I think the NBA needs to institute some pauses versus forcing these teams into games that they're just not prepared to play.
I want to ask you about the NFL. Great slate of games this weekend. Everyone watched Tom Brady win Saturday night, his first win outside of New England. Almost double the amount of playoff wins as the next guy, his idol Joe Montana. How should Patriot fans be treating this Tom Brady run here?
Well, it's interesting. I come across Patriot haters and I come across Tom Brady lovers. There's more Tom Brady lovers that I come across. I'm not sure, the paths that you travel, Yianni, but how can you not root for the guy? Yeah. I mean, I get that, your feelings were hurt when he chose to go elsewhere, but he's a Patriot for life. His statue's going to be in Foxborough. Why not root for the statue for one more run? And, is this Tampa Bay team capable of winning a Super Bowl? I think they are. None of these other teams blow me away. Right. They really don't.
And the graphic of he at 43 and George Blanda at 43. Blanda looked about 90 years old. Shows how well Tom Brady's doing. All right, finally, big news Friday. Our friend Andy Gresh moving on, WPRO. You are filling in an hour full-time starting, or I don't know, starting when? Next week? Tell us, what can you tell us about it with your new project here at WPRO?
Yeah, thank you. Very fortunate to, we'll kick off the Kevin Mack Sports Hour Monday through Friday from 6 to 7 on WPRO, AM and FM. A week from Tuesday is what it's going to be. I'm actually on the road a little this week. I'm going to an athletic event, the National Football Championship game, the college football game down on in Miami on Monday night. I'm really excited. I truly have not been to a game since I guess it would be the Friars' last home game in March.
Wow.
Yeah. So looking forward to it, and really looking forward to giving Sports Talk a shot on WPRO. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, you'll be great. Rhode Island native through and through with encyclopedic memory of everything that's gone on here over the duration of your sports fandom. So looking forward to that. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll talk again soon.
And will I ever hear from Yianni from East Greenwich?
Yeah, I'll call it, and I'll make my voice a little bit deeper so you don't know it's actually me. How about that?
That sounds good.
All right, thanks.